Yep, I spilt them because y'all were under my feet, weren't you? I surely did. But didn't take you but a minute. I couldn't even get the camera on before you scarfed them all up. So here's what's left. Now I'll spread her out here. Yep, there you are. Yep, Fast Food Friday. And you got, of course, your favorite, chicken tenders. Now, just in case y'all didn't know, they're not from Jack's. I'll just tell you right now, but doesn't seem to be bothering you any. They're not from Hardee's. Nope. Yep. Papa had to slim back some. These chicken tenders are breaking me. Yep. Since we had to get a little gas for the mower, we checked out my favorite convenience store, Buddy's. And they always have chicken tenders, and the owner was there. Greeted me at the deli counter, you know, where they keep them. You know, they do meals during lunch and dinner. It's basically a meat and two sides and a dinner bun or a biscuit. And I asked him how much chicken tenders were. He told me. Seemed like a fair price, so I picked them up 5. Pre-cooked chicken tenders, especially from Jack's, Hardee's, or even now Buddy's, done got pricey. But I'm so proud, they didn't mind. They weren't their exact favorites. And like I say, I spilled them coming out of the door because they were all under my feet. And if you don't know, and you're new to the Kitty Krew, that's Cleo with the white collar. Spooky's got the beat up collar there. Then of course Speedy. Good luck getting the collar on her. I don't even think that took them 2 minutes to scarf them all down. Well, guys, there's 2 more. So you can have one for your midnight special tonight, your snack, and then one for tomorrow. Okay? Hey, meat prices are insane. You hear me, Speedy? Yeah. That's your sister Gracie inside the screen. And I gotta close that door, because we're letting out air conditioning. It ain't as hot today as it has been. Nope, we're only up to about 83, 84 today. Guys, you're gonna lick the plate clean, aren't you? Speedy? You're cleaning up the crumbs over by the door, huh? I'm sure it'll all be gone here in just a few minutes. But it is a beautiful day. And I do apologize for not taking you on the run to get their chicken tenders. I had to pick up some gas for the mower. And when I walked on in to pay for it, checked out their tender prices and said, well, I'm here. They're reasonable. Why not? So went ahead and, like I say, picked them up 5. And they seem to be fairly happy with them. Woo! This Latanya bush, since temperatures have dropped back off last week or so, she's starting to bloom heavy. And every morning when I come on out here to sit with them, Kitty Krew, while they have their breakfast, I watch. And I've got one hummingbird that visits every day, multiple times a day. Ooh, and they even got a very subtle fragrance to them. They are so beautiful. I truly do love this bush, and I'm so glad that even though I thought that hard freeze that we got, you know, back in February, you know, everybody got in the southwest, southeast, near record-setting temperatures. Even though it looked like it killed it all the way off, and we cut it all the way back to the ground, you can just see it has come out with a passion. Right, Cleo? Yep, the chicken tenders are gone. So they're all going to be cleaning up. Speedy's already at it. Spook's coming out with me. And we did make sure, gave the old bird feeders cleaning today. They were about out of bird seed. And I'm sure in the background you can hear the birdies. It is a beautiful day today. We got a few clouds, blue skies, a very nice breeze coming out of the northeast for whatever reason. Yep, cleaned up the bird feeders, got them all filled back up with Wagner's premium bird seed. Birds have been loving it. They surely have. And of course that's my mockingbirds. Cardinals. Seen a little pair of cardinals. Many sparrows. House wrens, finches. Oh yeah. Even one mourning dove, which they're ground feeders. So always make sure to sprinkle some out on the ground for he or she, not sure which. And hopefully Spooky here, and Speedy and Cleo won't make a meal of her. Of course I did catch Speedy out here this morning, laying behind this here crepe myrtle. Oh, trying to sneak up and make a jump for these feeders when the birdies were here. Yep. Oh my. But it is such a nice day to be out and about today. Oh, it's mid-afternoon. I'm starting to believe fall's gonna come early. And I know as soon as I say that, like in years past, it being September the 11th, 2021, I know we have a bad habit down here, getting cool for a week or two during September, and then right back into the 90s. It's just the way of things in the deep south. But I was out doing a few things this morning. Yep, there's my Cleo. And one thing we did, we planted a tomato over here where we've been piling up leaves, litter, and grass clippings. Me, Cleo, and Spooky did. Speedy didn't want much of it. And you might recognize that there tomato. That's that celebrity hybrid that originated from a celebrity that we planted in 2019. We had a volunteer last year in 2020. We replanted it in that there south side driveway garden bed that I got growing now. And it did well. It gave us plenty of tasty fruits, tomatoes, which are a fruit. And we got some, apparently, one dropped off and decomposed, and we had another volunteer this year. So, this is a second generation volunteer from a celebrity hybrid. Now I will say this, last year the tomatoes produced off of the mother plant that this one has come from this year were some of the tastiest, juiciest tomatoes, albeit they weren't all that large, that I've ever eaten. And that's one thing about it, folks. You know, a lot of people out there on YouTube, especially all the gardening gurus and homesteaders, you know, they're all about heirlooms and open pollinated seed and don't save the seed from hybrids. Well, something they neglect to say, some now I'm bringing it up, albeit very few, that all of our heirlooms right now, and I will say all, and if you dig into it you'll understand what I'm saying, they were once a hybrid. Yes, they were. Sometime in their life. I think for a hybrid to be considered now an heirloom, it's got to be 50 years old. And this celebrity line of tomatoes, if I remember right, it's either 45 or 47 years old. Yep. But I've saved hybrid seed pretty much all my life. Primarily, I knew it would grow. Secondly, it's sort of fun to see what you get. Sometimes you get something amazing. Sometimes not so much. But this tomatoes, she's looking fine. And with the temperatures cooling down now, I know it's going to take off. And it couldn't even be a more fertile place than right here where I've been dumping those ground up leaves, as you can see right here from the mower, and grass clippings. Oh, I've done that on this here plot of ground, which is, yeah, pretty much grown up with everything from violets to Mexican heather. See the little beautiful violet purple flowers out there, to dewberries. Yep. But again, once the leaves fall, it'll all get covered up again, and probably with more cottonwood. Yep. Been doing it on this here plot of ground for, Lord, over 20 years. And this used to be one of my main 2 garden plots. If you don't believe it, because she looks a little rough right now, you go back and watch that video I posted over on the community tab. Past times in deep South Bama. You can see this plot of ground in all of its glory over several years during that video. It's just a slideshow. Primarily made for me and the kids to remember times gone by. But we also got a little garlic coming up here. We'll have more. You can see some right here coming up. Yep, that was put out last week. We got some more there. I think we got all in all 4 plants coming up so far. I do believe I planted 10. Yep. We'll see all what comes up. I think I had more right here too that I haven't seen yet. But if it don't come up, we got plenty of time to put some more in the ground. Now you have to excuse all the noise in the background. They're working on my neighbor's metal roof, trying to work on it some more. Speedy and Cleo, Spooky. Yep, that noise bothers them. Come on over, Spook. So I guess not a good day to be out trying to do a video. Such is life when you live in close proximity with people. While we're out here, and it is midday, I think I'll walk over and check the south side garden bed. If y'all would like to, you can come along with me. Oh, some of it's in the shade. Oh, so what can we see? Well, here, as you know, that's a yellow squash that I transplanted from over here, where I'd stuck 6 seeds in because they were old. I didn't anticipate them all coming up, which they did. So I had to thin them out, and why waste them? Put one right here, and she's looking fine. My corn, yeah, was 6, now down to 3. It's looking a little tattered, and you might see right here. See the leaf damages? And your first thought would be, that is caterpillar damage. But if you look closely at how jagged it is, then that's a very good indicator that it's grasshopper damage. And I can tell you, it surely was. Because for the last 2 days, I've caught a grasshopper on it. Now yesterday, that grasshopper perished. Today, the one that was on there, dining on my corn, yeah, he got away. The bell pepper's looking fantastic. And I counted them this morning, and you can probably see them down in there. All what will become peppers. There were 20 peppers starting to form. Oh yeah. Man, that will be nice. I'll be able to eat some fresh in salads. And I'm probably gonna chop up a bunch, and I will give them a light blanch, spread them out on a baking dish, or pan, and then I'll freeze them individually in the freezer and bag them up for the winter. Yellow squash here starting to look fine. You can see we got this one plant that's really ahead of all others. There's a second one down here, see her? Peeking up through. It's coming in second place. But let me show you the ones that's in third. You see this one? Ain't doing much, right? Got one leaf right here. And it's coming right out of the center right there. Well, I can let that grow till frost comes. And that's all that squash plant is going to be or do. Surely it is. Because that's what we refer to, or at least my daddy and my granddaddy's, as a blind seedling. It had a leaf come out of the terminal point, and that's it. I've decided to let it grow. Just for those of you who don't believe me, you'll see it. But you can see it on this bigger one. She's starting to vine, as is her smaller sibling here. But this one, being the same age, that's all it's done. The heat master's starting to take off, and you can start to see fruit bunches right there. Another one up there, and I was counting them this morning. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possible tomatoes in that one fruit grouping. I think it was the same down here. Oh, the Kentucky Wonder rattlesnake pole beans. They're finally climbing up the poles. Starting to look rather good. Whew, and look at these tomatoes. And I think these are the biggest success. Because y'all remember when I planted these, oh, what was that? July 20th to 22nd. Man, they look pathetic. Over 2/3 of the plant was suffering from Spatoria leaf spot. The only leaves they had was on the top upper third. They were long and lanky, but I treated them like I always do with hydrogen peroxide and water mixture. Killed off that Spatoria leaf spot and kept doing it. Kept it off. Then they got late blight, what, 2 weeks back? And I thought they were done for sure. But I thought, hey, what the heck? Let's try soaking them and drenching them again in hydrogen peroxide and water. And even though that blight was, deep, dark, shiny, glossy black, where it infected the leaves and stems, yeah, it worked. It killed it. Now, granted, the leaves are never going to look all brand new. You can see the remnants of that blight right there on that stem. See where it's now browned? The leaf is still alive, albeit it's not as pretty. And any of the ones that were infected, they're not as pretty as they once would be if it hadn't happened. But they're still living. It's trying to flower, this one is. It lost a lot of blossoms during the heat, as did this one, but look here. See right on in there? The first tomato for me, 2021. And more blossoms coming. And look how tall they are. When they were planted, they were down here right at the edge of the siding. This one is almost even with the bottom of the fourth siding panel. They've grown a lot in a little over a month and a half. These rattlesnake pole bean Kentucky Wonders here, they're all climbing up the poles. Looking fine. Got a little bug damage. And Cajun Bell, yeah, she's been still having some issues. Slugs, grasshoppers, and armyworms just seem to love this Cajun bell pepper. You can see it right here. Leaves just totally ate off. But it's got some blossoms. She's fighting for her life. And I think pretty much, I know when I say that, I'll find more. I think I'm winning the battle against armyworms. Of course now, I got grasshoppers. It's always something. Here's another yellow squash transplant that I took from that main grouping where the 6 plants were. And I didn't take this one here till about a week or so back, maybe a week and a half. So it's behind that other one I transplanted. Here again, I thought about when I thinned, just throwing her away. And I thought, well, I'll give her a shot. So here she sits. Not looking too bad, considering she's in that bright sunshine. I mean, leaves wilting a little bit. And I've been covering her up, but the last 2 days I've decided to see if she can stand on her own, and surely she has. Over here we got our little humble cucumber plant, which I haven't had the best of luck. You know, I had 3 come up. This is the only survivor from the first planting, which does wilt a little in this blazing sun. But trust me, that ground is very moist. Yep. But then I did a second plant. And I've got 2 that come up there. Now I planted seeds all along here. If I remember right, there was 8 of them. But I also noticed right here, here's another one about to break through the surface. See right there? I mean, if I can get 3 or 4 good plants and then trellis them up these fence posts, which I can add bamboo, and take them way on up the side of the house like I did in 2018. Yeah, in fact they went up 15 feet or more, draped all the way back down, and ran out nearly across the entire driveway. A little corn plant down here. Well, yep, it's had some armyworm damage too. It ain't quite as vigorous as the one up at the top of the end. And I had 12 plants. Now I'm down to 7. Now I know some of you say just replant, got plenty of time, which I do. But it wasn't all about that. That was old seed. I really didn't think it'd come up, but it did. And that. I got plenty of canned corn, plenty of frozen corn. It was just a fun thing. But my cherry tomato jungle over here is just Cadillacing. And we got our first cherry tomatoes starting to show right here. And you remember, this is one of the plants, and I don't know if you can see it on in there, where we just buried this big long vine. And look at her now. See what you can do? Yeah. And we got so many more prospects to do that right here, which, you know, 2 or 3 cherry tomatoes. It's gonna be way more than I need. I just hate to waste the plant because the one in the pot, along with these big long vines, is looking very good. But our other one here, that we took this here vine right here, see it? And buried it in the ground. She's starting to get some fruit clusters too. See right there? There's some more down here lower. But look at it. It's making it. It survived the July and August blazing heat and sun. So it should really start to take off now. Now I got something special right here. And you'll get to see them. See them right? They come up from bulbs there. And those weren't planted by me. Those were planted by Mr. and Mrs. Carlisle. The original owners of the place, and they come out in various places. And they are all called, they're like a pink or red naked lady. No leaves, just a flower. And these two look like they'll bloom soon. So there you have our little garden plantings. All we've done so far. We'll probably do a little bit more. I'm happy now. At least I got 1 tomato. Looks like got more coming on soon. And for this moment in time, I have defeated the different diseases. And I didn't even think, from everything I read, that defeating blight was even possible. But like I said, I had nothing to lose, so I gave it a go. And I'm a firm believer now that if you catch it in time, soak your plants, repeat, you too can get them through. I think it's more about timing and how much the plant's affected. Now, yeah, granted, some of the leaves will never be all bright and green and beautiful again. But as long as the stem's still green and healthy, they're doing something, albeit they're not going to be very efficient. And also, if you remember, this was the tomato plant, Better Boy bush, and they both are, that had everything ever suggested on the internet thrown in the hole. And it was behind this one over here that just had the compost, worm castings, organic fertilizer, and fish emulsion. But now it looks like she's starting to catch up. And see, that's what happens when you put in all that organic material, which all of it was. If you haven't watched that video, you should. It takes time to break down for your worms to work, your soil fungi to work, so it breaks down to where the plant can use it. I always suspected this plant here, when it comes around the final turn, it may outpace that one, but the jury's still out. But you're seeing it as I see it. So I hope you enjoyed my little garden tour. Not much, I know. Cleo, you enjoying the shade or in focus? I still got some tenders. We're not going again today. Ooh. Kitty Krew's become demanding and spoiled. There ain't no doubt. Well, y'all, now I gotta head her on in. Got dishes to wash, chores due. I got several videos I need to finish up editing on. Like I said, I promised y'all a cooking video, and I'm working on it, getting it all thrown together. So until old Mr. Tom sees you on the next video. You know, I want y'all to take care out there. Oh, let's sit down a minute on the front porch. Be safe. Be prepared as you can be. And may God bless each and every one of you. Till we see you on the next video. And today's a special day for most Americans. And I hope you haven't forgot, and I haven't either, before I lived it. And I have family members that were in New York State, in New York City during it. And that is what happened on that fateful day on 9/11, 20 years ago, that resulted in the destruction of the Twin Towers and so much more. I hope y'all will take the time to remember it today. Pray for the families and loved ones that lost their family, loved ones, and friends during that horrible attack. And I hope you will also pray for those first responders that came to the scene that now suffer from long-term health effects because of what they were exposed to during their attempts to rescue those who might still be alive. They need your prayers now more than ever. So please remember, as you saw by our flag in the cemetery, it flies at half-mast for all those who lost their life on this day 20 years ago. As you have seen thousands of times, we will never forget. And I hope we never do. So, like I say, till me, Kitty Krew, Cleo, Spooky, Speedy, and Gracie, which I think is curled up on the air conditioner sleeping. Sometimes Elrod, which he's been missing 2 days in a row, but don't worry, he's fine. See you on the next video. God bless. Goodbye for now. It always saddens me when I see the flag at half-mast. Today I know the reason why, but there are other days I don't know, and I have to check. And now, since I have the time, I always make it a point to find out why, honor those that have passed, and pray for those they left behind. May God bless America and all Americans. And may God bless all countries that seek freedom.